In the heartlands of Bihar, where vast green fields stretch to the horizon and villages pulse with age-old rhythms of life, there existed a shadow that would haunt the region for decades. A figure whose name became synonymous with fear, audacity, and survival. This is the story of Nirbhay Singh, a Dacoit, whose life reflected the complexities of poverty, opportunity, and ambition in rural India. Welcome to Nascent Bulletin, where we uncover stories of individuals who lived on the edge, shaping history in ways both terrifying and unforgettable. Nirbhay Singh was born into a world defined by scarcity. Life in Bihar's rural heartland was never easy. Families struggled to survive, fields were small, and opportunities were scarce. Young Nirbhay witnessed firsthand the harsh realities of inequality, social hierarchy, and the limitations imposed by a rigid system. From an early age, he understood that life would demand cunning, resilience, and bold decisions. These early experiences would set the foundation for a life lived on society, as fringes, a life where law and morality were constantly challenged by circumstance. As Nirbhay grew older, his path took a darker turn. The forests, fields, and villages of Bihar became both his playground and his refuge. He began operating as a dacoit, orchestrating robberies, raids, and kidnappings with remarkable audacity. He quickly became known for his tactical intelligence, his ability to navigate difficult terrain, and his uncanny skill at evading law enforcement. Every encounter with the authorities became a game of cat and mouse, and every raid only added to his growing legend. Yet, Nirbhay Singh's story is more than a tale of crime. In a region where law enforcement was often stretched thin and corruption was rampant, he became a symbol of both fear and, paradoxically, a kind of order. Some locals spoke of a personal code he followed, a line he would not cross, communities he would not harm, and an understanding of when to act with restraint. In the villages he touched, whispers of his deeds carry lessons in loyalty, cunning, and survival, blending fear with reluctant respect. The life of a dacoit is inherently dangerous, and Nirbhay Singh's years of infamy were marked by constant tension. Every plan, every movement, every decision could mean life or death. Yet, he managed to survive for years, outsmarting rivals, dodging law enforcement, and using the environment to his advantage. Forests became his sanctuary, villages, his network of information, and the rivers and fields, his routes of escape. His audacity and survival skills made him legendary not just for his crimes, but for his ability to elude capture repeatedly. But the shadows cast by his life were not without consequence. Families, communities, and authorities lived with the constant threat of his raids. And the very qualities that allowed him to survive, fearlessness, cunning, and ruthlessness, were the same that drew the attention of police forces determined to end his reign. Every operation to apprehend him was met with his strategy, patience, and knowledge of the land. For years, he was untouchable, a figure who seemed to operate beyond the reach of law itself. Eventually, the relentless pursuit of law enforcement caught up with him. Nirbhay Singh's reign came to an end, closing a chapter that had terrified, fascinated, and challenged the people of Bihar. Yet, even in defeat, his legend persisted. Stories of his daring, his intelligence, and his survival instincts continued to circulate, shaping the folklore of the region. He became a cautionary tale, a vivid example of how environment, opportunity, and choice converged to produce extraordinary and often dangerous lives. Nirbhay Singh's story raises questions that go beyond crime. It challenges us to consider the forces that shape human behavior, the role of poverty, inequality, and societal neglect. It reminds us that every notorious figure is a product of their environment, molded by circumstance, and pushed by necessity and ambition into choices that ordinary people might never face. His life reflects a fragile balance between morality and survival, law and lawlessness, fear and respect. Even today, his story is told in villages and towns across Bihar, not just as a tale of crime, but as a study of resilience, audacity, and consequence. For some, he is a cautionary tale, a warning of what life on the margins can produce. For others, he is a figure of intrigue, a man who navigated impossible circumstances with intelligence, courage, and ruthless efficiency. As we reflect on the life of Nirbhay Singh, it becomes clear that history is rarely simple. His story is not one of good or evil alone. It is a story of human complexity, of environment shaping behavior, and of choices that ripple across communities and generations. Behind every infamous name lies context, struggle, and consequence. Nirbhay Singh's life is a vivid reminder of the power of circumstance and the human capacity for both fear and fascination. Here at Nascent Bulletin, we explore stories like these not to glorify crime, but to understand the forces, decisions, and consequences that shape human lives in extraordinary ways. The story of Nirbhay Singh challenges us to look deeper, to consider how society, environment, and ambition intersect, and to reflect on what drives individuals to live on the edge. If this story captivated you, make sure to subscribe and hit the bell icon. There are countless untold stories of ambition, survival, and human complexity waiting to be explored, and your journey with Nascent Bulletin is just beginning. So, remember, behind every infamous figure lies a story of context, choice, and consequence. Nirbhay Singh's life was not just a tale of crime, it was a story of survival, audacity, and the intricate dance between humanity and the forces that shape it. And in understanding these stories, we come closer to understanding ourselves, our societies, and the complex world we inhabit.